Keanu had a rare Saturday off. No filming, no meetings, no obligations. Just time to himself. He sat in his kitchen drinking coffee. Black, strong, thinking about his sister Kim's birthday coming up next week. She was turning 52. He wanted to get her something special, something meaningful. Kim loved quality accessories, handbags especially. She appreciated craftsmanship, good materials, timeless design. He thought about what she'd like. Remembered her mentioning she admired certain designer pieces, but rarely bought them for herself. Too practical, too frugal. That's what siblings were for, to buy the impractical, beautiful things. He decided on Rodeo Drive, not his usual shopping destination. He preferred small boutiques, local artisans, places without crowds or pretense. But for a luxury handbag, Rodeo Drive was the place. Gucci had a large store there. He'd passed it countless times, never gone in. Today seemed like the day. He finished his coffee, went upstairs, got dressed. His standard uniform, worn jeans, black t-shirt, comfortable boots, old leather jacket, baseball cap. Didn't think about appearance. Just grabbed what was familiar, what felt like him. Checked his wallet, credit cards, cash. Good to go. The drive to Beverly Hills was easy. Saturday afternoon, but traffic wasn't bad. He took surface streets, avoided highways when possible, preferred seeing neighborhoods, trees, houses, real life instead of concrete barriers and off-ramps. Rodeo Drive was exactly what he expected. Crowds of tourists, taking photos, window shopping, expensive cars parked along the street. Ferraris, Bentleys, Lamborghinis, all performing wealth, all saying, "Look at me. Look what I can afford." He found parking in a public structure 2 blocks away. Walked. The street was lined with luxury brands. Prada, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Cartier, Valentino. Each storefront more elaborate than the last. Designed to intimidate. To make clear this wasn't for everyone. This was exclusive, elite, special. He found Gucci. Large store, corner location, glass facade, beautiful window displays, mannequins in impeccable outfits, handbags on pedestals like art pieces, lighting dramatic, everything curated to perfection. He took a breath, went to the entrance, pushed open the heavy glass door. Inside was cool, air conditioning set cold, probably intentional, keep people from lingering too long. The space was minimalist, marble floors, white walls, gold accents, track lighting, everything sparse, clean. A few customers browsed, all well-dressed, designer clothes, expensive shoes, looking like they belonged. A sales associate stood near the entrance. Young woman, late 20s, perfectly styled, hair in a sleek ponytail, makeup flawless, wearing all black. Gucci, presumably. She looked up as Keanu entered. Her eyes scanned him, top to bottom. Quick assessment. Her smile appeared, but it didn't reach her eyes. Professional but cold. "Good afternoon. May I help you find something?" The words were polite. The tone was not. It said, "I'm required to ask, but I already know you don't belong here." Keanu smiled. Genuinely. "Just looking. Shopping for my sister. Her birthday's coming up." The sales associate, whose name tag read Ashley, let her eyes drift over his outfit again. The worn jeans, the faded t-shirt, the old boots. She made a small sound. Not quite a sigh. More like suppressed judgment. "I see. Well, I should mention that this is Gucci. Our pieces are quite expensive. Handbags start at several $1,000s. If you're looking for something more budget-friendly, there's an H&M at the Beverly Center. Just a few blocks from here. Much more accessible price points." Her tone was careful. Studied politeness masking clear dismissal. "You can't afford this. You shouldn't be here. Please leave so I can help real customers." Keanu's smile didn't falter. He'd encountered this before, many times. The assumption that because he dressed casually, he had no money. It used to bother him. Now it was just tiresome. "I understand the price range. I'm Eufine. Just want to look around." Ashley's expression tightened. Annoyance flickered. "Of course. Feel free to browse. But please be careful with the merchandise. Some pieces are quite delicate and valuable. Translation: don't touch anything. You might damage it. Or worse, try to steal it." Keanu nodded. Didn't argue. Just moved deeper into the store. Started looking at handbags. They were displayed on glass shelves, lit from above. Each one a small sculpture of leather and hardware. Some are understated, classic, others bold. Statement pieces. He looked at materials, stitching, design details, trying to imagine what Kim would like. Behind him, Ashley walked to another sales associate, a woman about the same age. Name tag, Brittany. They stood together, speaking in low voices, but not low enough. Keanu heard every word. Another one, Ashley said. These tourists who come in just to take photos. Look at him, dressed like he's going to a garage sale. Probably doesn't have $500 to his name. Brittany glanced over, giggled. I know. It's so annoying. They waste our time. Touch everything, then leave without buying anything. Security should screen people at the door. Only let in serious customers. Right? Like, read the room. If you can't afford it, don't come in. It's embarrassing. For them and for us. They laughed together. Quiet but audible. Keanu continued looking at handbags. His jaw tightened slightly, but he didn't turn around. Didn't confront them. Just kept browsing. He dealt with worse. This was just snobbery. Ignorance. Not worth his energy. He found a handbag he liked. Shoulder bag. Medium size. Beautiful caramel-colored leather. Gold hardware. Classic design. Understated elegance. Kim would love this. He checked the small card next to it. Price, for $1,500. Reasonable for what it was. He picked it up carefully. Examined it. The leather was buttery. The stitching impeccable. Quality justified the price. As he held the bag, the door opened. A man entered. 40s. Asian. Well-dressed, but not ostentatiously. Dark jeans. Fitted blazer. Clean sneakers. Confident walk. He looked around. Noticed Keanu. Did a double take. Recognition. The man approached. Spoke quietly. Respectfully. Excuse me. Are you Keanu Reeves? Keanu looked up. Smiled. Yeah. I'm David. David Chun. Big fan of your work. I don't mean to intrude. You're not intruding. Nice to meet you, David. David glanced toward Ashley and Brittany. They were watching. Whispering. He frowned. Looked back at Keanu. I saw how they were treating you when you came in. That was unprofessional. Rude. Keanu shrugged. It's fine. I'm used to it. You shouldn't have to be. I see this all the time in high-end retail. People making assumptions based on appearance. It's classist. It's wrong. Appreciate you saying so. But really, I'm okay. Just here to shop. David nodded. Well, for what it's worth, you're a better man than me. I'd have called them out. Sometimes it's not worth it. People believe what they want to believe. Better to just do what you came to do and leave. True. Well, I'll let you shop. Again, big admirer. Everything you do. The films. The person you are. Thank you for being a good human. Thank you. That's kind. David moved off to browse. Keanu returned his attention to the handbag. This was the one. Perfect for Kim. He walked toward the register. Ashley saw him coming. Her expression was surprise, mixed with skepticism. He placed the bag on the counter. I'd like to purchase this, please. Ashley looked at the bag. At him. At the bag again. You want to buy this? Yes. This bag is $4,500. I saw the price. She paused. Her tone became pointed. Sir, do you have $4,500? I need to ask because we don't offer payment plans. No la llave. No installments. Full payment required at time of purchase. Keanu reached for his wallet. Said nothing. Pulled out a credit card. Placed it on the counter. Black card. American Express Centurion card. Matte black. Minimalist design. No credit limit. One of the most exclusive cards in existence. Invitation only. Issued to people who spend hundreds of thousands annually. Ashley stared at the card. Her face changed. Color draining. Eyes widening. Recognition dawning. Brittany had walked over to see what was happening. She saw the card too. Went still. Keanu looked at Ashley. His expression neutral. Will this be acceptable? She swallowed. Yes. Of course. I'll process this right away. She picked up the card with shaking hands. Swiped it through the machine. Waited. Approved. Obviously. She printed the receipt. Hands trembling slightly. Keanu looked around the store. Saw David browsing scarves. Walked over to him. David, were you looking at anything specific? I saw you checking out a few items. David turned. Oh, just browsing. Thinking about gifts for my wife. Her birthday's next month. What were you looking at? Show me. Really, you don't have to. Show me. David pointed out a few things. A silk scarf. A wallet. A pair of sunglasses. Nice pieces. Classic designs. Keanu nodded. Walked back to the counter. Ashley and Brittany watched him approach. Both anxious now. Both realizing they'd made a terrible mistake. I like to purchase everything he was looking at. The scarf. That wallet. The sunglasses. Also that bag over there. And that belt. Everything he showed interest in. Add it to my transaction. Ashley's mouth opened. Closed. Sir, that's going to be a substantial amount. Understand. Please ring it up. Are you sure? Yes. She started scanning items. Adding to the total. Each beep of the scanner made her more nervous. David approached. Keanu, you don't need to do this. This is too much. You were the only person in here who treated me like a human being. Let me do this. But this is thousands of dollars. I know. Doesn't matter. Your wife will love these things. Consider it a gift from one person who was treated badly to another person who wasn't. David's eyes watered slightly. This is incredibly generous. Thank you. The total kept climbing. 8,000, 12,000, 18,000, 25,000. Ashley added the last item. $30,347. She looked at Keanu. Voice small. Your total is $30,347. Okay. She processed the card again. Waited. Approved. She printed the receipt. Started gathering items to wrap. Brittany helped. Both silent. Both moving mechanically. Other customers in the store had noticed. Stopped their own shopping. Watching this unfold. A few had phones out. Recording discreetly. A woman emerged from a back office. Older. Mid-40s. Impeccably dressed. Professional demeanor. Manager, clearly. She'd heard the commotion. Came to investigate. Saw the amount on the register. Her eyebrows raised. She looked at Keanu. Recognition crossed her face. Then concern. Is everything all right here? Smooth voice. Professional smile. But her eyes were sharp. Assessing. Ashley spoke quickly. Yes, Miss Preston. Just processing a large purchase. Valerie Preston. Store manager. She looked at the itemized receipt. At Keanu. At Ashley and Brittany's uncomfortable faces. She was smart enough to read the room. Mr. Reeves. What a pleasure to have you in our store. I hope you found everything to your satisfaction. Keanu looked at her. The merchandise is beautiful. The service could use improvement. Valerie's smile tightened. I apologize if there was any issue. We pride ourselves on exceptional customer service. Your staff made assumptions about me, about what I could afford, based on how I was dressed. Suggested I shop somewhere cheaper. Made comments about tourists wasting their time. Might want to address that. Not everyone who can afford luxury looks like they can. Valerie's face paled. She glanced at Ashley and Brittany. Both stared at the floor. Mr. Reeves, I'm deeply sorry. This is completely unacceptable. Please allow me to. It's done. I got what I came for. Just think about training your staff better. Teach them not to judge by appearance. You'd be surprised who walks through your doors. Ashley had finished wrapping everything. Multiple Gucci shopping bags. Distinctive green and red. Logos everywhere. David came forward. Keanu handed him most of the bags. Kept only one. The bag for Kim. For your wife. Hope she loves everything. David was overwhelmed. I don't know what to say. This is beyond generous. Thank you. Truly. They exchanged phone numbers. Promised to stay in touch. David left. Weighted down with shopping bags. Grinning like a kid. Keanu turned back to Valerie. Maybe train your staff to treat everyone with respect, regardless of appearance. Some of us just value comfort over fashion. Doesn't mean we can't afford your products. Just means we don't feel the need to prove our wealth through clothing. Valerie nodded rapidly. Absolutely. You're completely right. Again, my deepest apologies. This doesn't represent Gucci's values. Your words say that. Your employees' behavior said something different. Might want to figure out which is true. He picked up his single shopping bag. Walked to the exit. The other customers watched. Some smiled. Approving. Understanding. One woman gave him a small nod. Solidarity. He pushed through the door. back into the Beverly Hills sunshine. Behind him, Valerie stood frozen for a moment, then turned to Ashley and Brittany. Her expression transformed. Professional mask falling away, revealing anger, fury, panic. My office. Both of you. Now, Valerie's office was small, windowless, utilitarian. Not the glamorous facade the store presented to customers. Just a desk, computer, filing cabinets, harsh fluorescent lighting. She closed the door, turned to face Ashley and Brittany. Both stood awkwardly, knowing they were in trouble. Not sure how much. Seat. They sat. Valerie remained standing, arms crossed. Her voice was controlled, but ice cold. Tell me exactly what happened. From the moment Keanu Reeves walked into this store, Ashley spoke first. Defensive. He came in dressed like a homeless person. Jeans with holes. Old t-shirt. We get people like that all the time. Tourists. Looky loose. They come in, touch everything, take photos, waste our time, never buy anything. So you assumed he couldn't afford our products. Well, yeah. I mean, look at how he was dressed. And you told him what? Ashley shifted uncomfortably. I suggested he might find more suitable options at H&M. I was trying to be helpful. Save him embarrassment. You told a customer to leave. To shop somewhere cheaper. I was being realistic. Valerie turned to Brittany. And you? Brittany's voice was small. I agreed with Ashley. We were talking about how annoying it is when tourists come in just to browse, to take selfies. They're not serious customers. And you said this within his earshot. We were talking to each other, privately, in the middle of the sales floor. Loud enough for him to hear. Loud enough for other customers to hear. Silence. Both women stared at their hands. Valerie sat down, leaned forward, hands folded on the desk. Do you know who Keanu Reeves is? Beyond being an actor? He's famous, Ashley said. I know that now. But he wasn't wearing designer clothes. He didn't look wealthy. How are we supposed to know? That's exactly the problem. You shouldn't need to know. Every person who walks through that door deserves respect. Every single person, whether they're a billionaire or a student, whether they're wearing Armani or Target. Your job is to provide excellent service, not to judge who's worthy of that service. But we have to be realistic, Ashley protested. Some people can't afford anything here. They waste our time. And some people who look like they can't afford anything just spent $30,000 in 15 minutes. How much commission did you just lose because you were rude to him? That landed. Ashley's face changed. Calculating. She'd lost a massive sale. Commission would have been substantial. Multiple thousands of dollars. Gone. Because of her assumptions. Valerie continued. Keanu Reeves has a net worth estimated at $380 million. He just spent $30,000 like it was nothing. And he would have been a customer who told people about his experience. Positive word of mouth from someone like him is priceless. Instead, he told me to train my staff better. On his way out, after you insulted him. We didn't know who he was, Brittany said weakly. Stop saying that. It doesn't matter who he was. You treated a customer with disrespect. You made assumptions. You were classist and rude. If he'd been anyone else, it would still be wrong. The fact that he's famous just means it's going to have bigger consequences. What consequences? Ashley's voice was tight. Afraid. Valerie's phone buzzed. She looked at it. Her face went white. These consequences. She turned the phone around. Showed them. Twitter. A video. Shot by another customer in the store. It showed Ashley and Brittany whispering. Laughing. Audio was clear enough. Another tourist who can't afford anything. Security should screen at the door. Then Keanu at the counter. The black card. The $30,000 transaction. The video had been posted 20 minutes ago. Already had 200,000 views. The caption, Gucci staff on Rodeo Drive treating Keanu Reeves like trash because of his clothes. Then he drops $30,000 like it's nothing and buys a stranger thousands in gifts. This is why we love him and why luxury retail is broken. Comments were flooding in. This is disgusting behavior from Gucci staff. Fire them immediately. Keanu is a saint for not calling them out publicly. I'm never shopping at Gucci again. These women represent everything wrong with luxury retail. Ashley grabbed for the phone. Let me see that. Valerie pulled it back. Don't touch. This is going viral. In 20 minutes, 200,000 people have seen you insult one of the most beloved actors in the world. By end of day, it'll be millions. Can we get taken down? No, it's already been screen recorded, reposted dozens of times. There's no stopping it now. Brittany started crying. I'm going to be fired. Yes, Valerie said flatly. You are. Both of you. I can't keep you after this. Corporate will demand it. And honestly, you deserve it. You were cruel. You were classist. You judge someone based on appearance. That's not what Gucci stands for. That's not what I stand for. Please, Ashley begged. I have rent. Bills. I need this job. You should have thought about that before you mocked a customer. Before you suggested he shop somewhere cheaper. Before you laughed about tourists who can't afford anything. Actions have consequences. Valerie's desk phone rang. She answered. Yes. Her face became more drawn as she listened. Yes, I'm aware. It just happened. I'm dealing with it now. She listened more. Understood. I'll handle it. She hung up. That was regional. They've seen the video. They want a statement prepared within the hour. And they want the employees involved terminated immediately. So here's how this is going to work. You're both fired. Effective immediately. Pack your personal belongings. Security will escort you out. You'll receive 2 weeks severance. That's more than you deserve, but it's company policy. And if you're smart, you'll never work in luxury retail again. Because this video will follow you forever. Ashley stood. Angry now. Defensive. This is unfair. We treat people like that every day. Everyone does. It's how luxury retail works. We're supposed to cultivate high-value clients. That means being selective. No, Valerie said coldly. It means being observant. Learning who your repeat customers are. Building relationships. Not insulting strangers because they're not dressed to your standards. There's a difference between excellent service and elitism. You chose elitism. Now you pay for it. What about you? Brittany challenged. You're the manager. You hired us. You created this culture. Why aren't you being fired? I might be. Corporate is reviewing the entire store. But unlike you, I didn't insult a customer on camera. I didn't cost this company millions in reputation damage. You did. Own it. Security arrived. 2 guards. Professional. Stoic. Ms. Preston, escort these 2 to collect their belongings. Then see them out. They're no longer employed here. Ashley and Brittany were led away. Both crying now. Reality settling in. Their careers in luxury retail over. Their faces about to be known internationally as the women who insulted Keanu Reeves. Their names would be in articles. Their social media would be flooded. Job prospects destroyed. Valerie sat alone in her office. Opened her laptop. The video was everywhere now. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Hajichi, Facebook, 500,000 views. Growing exponentially. Comments unanimous in condemnation. Of Ashley and Brittany. Of Gucci. Of luxury retail culture in general. Her phone rang again. Corporate. She answered. Spent the next hour on calls. With PR. With legal. With executives in Italy. All demanding explanations. All furious about the brand damage. She explained repeatedly. Took responsibility as manager. Assured them the employees were terminated. Promised better training. New policies. Whatever they wanted to hear. When the calls finally ended, she sat in silence. 23 years in retail. Worked her way up from sales associate to store manager. Never had an incident like this. Never had her store become international news for all the wrong reasons. Her career wasn't over, but it was damaged. She'd be watched closely now. Any more problems, and she'd be gone too. She thought about what Keanu had said. Your words say one thing. Your employee's behavior says another. He was right. She'd trained Ashley and Brittany to maximize high-value sales. To focus on clients who'd spend big. She'd never explicitly told them to be rude to others. But had she implicitly encouraged it by rewarding only big sales? By celebrating when they landed a whale? Had she created a culture where smaller customers were seen as waste of time? She had. She saw that now. The culture of the store had prioritized money over people, results over respect, and now it had exploded in her face. She pulled up the staff schedule, called in her other sales associates. 4 of them, all gathered in the office. Confused, worried. I'm sure you've seen the video by now. They nodded, uncomfortable. Ashley and Brittany have been terminated. What they did was unacceptable, but I need to acknowledge my role. I created an environment where that behavior was possible, where customers were valued based on apparent wealth. That changes now, effective immediately. She outlined new policies. Every customer greeted warmly. No assumptions about purchasing power. No comments about appearance. No discussion of customers' wealth or lack thereof. Respectful service for everyone. Period. I know some customers waste time. Browse without buying. That's fine. That's retail. Our job is to make everyone feel welcome, to provide information, to be helpful, whether they spend $30,000 or zero. Clear. Everyone nodded. One sales associate, Marcus, spoke up. What if corporate doesn't support this? What if they still want us focused on high-value clients? Then I'll deal with corporate. But I won't have another incident like today. I won't have my staff on video being cruel. The commission from one big sale isn't worth destroying our reputation or your careers. Learn from what happened to Ashley and Brittany. Don't repeat it. The meeting ended. Employees filtered back to the floor. Nervous. Chastened. The store felt different. Quieter. More careful. Every customer was now a potential viral video. Every interaction carried risk. By evening, the video had 2 million views. Page 6 published an article. Keanu Reeves humiliated at Gucci, responds with $30,000 shopping spree. The article included screenshots from the video, quotes from witnesses, a statement from Gucci corporate. Gucci is committed to treating all customers with the utmost respect and courtesy. The incident at our Beverly Hills location does not reflect our values. We have taken immediate action to address the situation and are reviewing our training protocols. We apologize to Mr. Reeves and to all our customers. TMZ followed with their own piece. Entertainment tonight. E-News. Every entertainment outlet running the story. It had everything. Celebrity. Luxury. Class warfare. Instant calma. Perfect viral content. The comments were overwhelmingly pro-Keanu. This is why he's the internet's boyfriend. Spending $30,000 on a stranger who defended him. Legend. Those Gucci employees just learned an expensive lesson. I hope they never work in retail again. Some defended Ashley and Brittany. They didn't know it was Keanu Reeves. Bit harsh to ruin their lives. But most pushed back. It shouldn't matter who it was. You don't treat people like that. If you're in customer service, you serve customers, not judge them. They're crying about consequences of their own actions. Zero sympathy. David Chun, the man who defended Keanu, posted on his LinkedIn. Professional photo. Polished bio. Tech entrepreneur. Angel investor. His post was measured but powerful. Today I witnessed something remarkable. I watched Keanu Reeves be treated with disrespect by luxury retail staff who judged him by his appearance. He remained calm, gracious. When it came time to pay, he used his resources not to embarrass them, but to reward kindness. He bought $30,000 of gifts for me, a stranger, simply because I treated him with basic human decency. This is a lesson for everyone in service industries. Treat all people with respect, not because they might be rich, not because they might be famous, but because it's right. You never know who you're talking to. But more importantly, it shouldn't matter. Everyone deserves dignity. The post went viral in business circles. Shared by CEOs, leadership coaches, business school professors. Used in training seminars. A case study in customer service. In grace under pressure. In the danger of assumptions. David's wife, Lauren, called him that evening. Did you really just get $30,000 of Gucci gifts from Keanu Reeves? I did. They're on our dining table. I still can't believe it. Why did he do that? Because I was nice to him. That's literally it. I saw how he was being treated. Said something. He remembered. When he bought his sister's gift, he bought everything I'd looked at. For you. For being married to someone who was decent. That's insane. That's the most Keanu Reeves thing I've ever heard. It is. But it's also a reminder of how we should treat people. Not for reward. Just because it's right. Today I was kind and happened to benefit. But the times no one's watching, when there's no benefit, we should still be kind. That's the real lesson. Lauren was quiet a moment. You're a good man. I'm proud of you. Thanks. Want to see your new Gucci collection? She laughed. Absolutely. Meanwhile, Ashley and Brittany had left the store, walked to their cars in silence. Got in. Saturday. Both processing, both checking their phones, both seeing the video spread, comments pouring in, tagging them, identifying them. Ashley's Instagram was flooded. Hundreds of comments. You're disgusting. Class is trash. Hope you never work again. This is karma. Her hands shook as she scrolled. She made her account private. Too late. Screenshots had already been taken. Shared. Her face was everywhere. Brittany was crying in her car. Called her boyfriend. I got fired. I'm all over the internet. Everyone hates me. I don't know what to do. What happened? She explained. Through sobs. The whole story. He was quiet when she finished. Britt, you were pretty rude. I mean, I get it. But you judged someone harshly. On camera. And it was Keanu Reeves. People love him. I know that now. But I didn't know then. How was I supposed to know? You weren't supposed to know. You were supposed to be nice to everyone, regardless of who they were. You're supposed to be on my side. I'm on your side. But I'm not going to pretend you didn't mess up. You did. Now you deal with it. Learn from it. Be better. Everyone's saying I should never work again. Then prove them wrong. Apologize. Mean it. Work somewhere else. Show you've changed. But Britt, you have to actually change. Not just say it because you got caught. She hung up, sat in her car, watching her career die in real time on social media. Everything she'd worked for, the carefully curated image, the luxury retail job, the lifestyle, gone. Because of 5 minutes of cruel judgment. She thought about Keanu's face. How calm he'd been. How he hadn't yelled. Hadn't demanded to see a manager. Just quietly proceeded to spend more money than she made in a year. Proving her wrong without saying a word. That was somehow worse than if he'd confronted her. The quiet dignity of his response made her behavior look even more petty. More small. Ashley sat in her car too. Not crying. Angry. This wasn't fair. She'd done what she'd been trained to do. Identify serious customers. Discourage time wasters. She'd just been unlucky. Unlucky that the scruffy guy in old jeans turned out to be mega rich and famous. If he'd been anyone else, no one would care. But even as she thought it, she knew it was wrong. She'd been cruel, dismissive, mean, not because Keanu had done anything to deserve it, but because she'd felt superior, because judging others made her feel important, powerful. Now that power had turned on her, and she had no defense. Her phone rang. Her mother. She didn't answer, couldn't face the conversation, couldn't explain how she'd thrown away her career because she'd mocked a customer for being poorly dressed. How stupid that sounded out loud. She started her car, drove home, trying to think of next steps, how to contain this, how to move forward. But every path seemed blocked, tagged in a viral video, face everywhere, name everywhere, unemployable in her field. At 28, her career was over before it really began. All because she'd forgotten the most basic rule of human interaction. Treat others as you wish to be treated. She'd treated Keanu with contempt. Now the world was treating her the same way. And she had no one to blame but herself. By Sunday morning, the video had 10 million views across all platforms. It was trending on Twitter, Reddit's front page, TikTok duets and reactions. Everyone had an opinion. Everyone was discussing it. The story had transcended entertainment news. It was cultural commentary now. About class. About assumptions. About how we treat service workers and how service workers treat customers. News outlets were trying to reach Ashley and Brittany for comment. Both had gone dark. Social media private. Phones off. Not answering doors. Their silence was interpreted as guilt. Refusal to take accountability. That made the backlash worse. Gucci's corporate headquarters in Florence was in full crisis mode. Sunday morning in Italy. Executive calls. Legal team activated. PR working overtime. The brand had weathered controversies before. But this was different. This was clear-cut. Indefensible. Their employees had been caught on video being classist and rude. To Keanu Reeves of all people. The most beloved, humble celebrity in the world. Marco Bizzarri, Gucci CEO, called an emergency meeting via video conference. Regional directors from every market. North America, Europe, Asia, Middle East. Everyone on screen. Everyone looking worried. I've seen the video, Marco began. His English was accented, but perfect. This is unacceptable. It damages our brand globally. Makes us look elitist. Out of touch. Cruel. We cannot tolerate this. The North American director, Catherine Walsh, spoke up. The employees have been terminated. Store manager is implementing new training protocols. We've issued public statements. What more can we do? We do more than damage control. We demonstrate change. Real change. Not just PR. I want comprehensive review of how our staff are trained. Globally. Every market. How we teach them to treat customers. Are we inadvertently encouraging this behavior? Rewarding sales metrics that prioritize wealthy clients over others. Silence. Because the answer was yes. Every luxury brand did this. Commission structures incentivized big sales. Staff were trained to identify serious customers, to maximize time with high net worth individuals. It wasn't explicitly classist, but the results were. We need a change, Marco continued. Not because of this video, but because it's right. Luxury should be accessible, aspirational, not exclusionary, not cruel. Our brand should welcome everyone, whether they buy or not. That's how we build loyalty, build reputation, build legacy. Catherine nodded. I agree, but that's a cultural shift. Takes time, training, buy-in from staff who are used to the old way. Then we start now. Today, I want new training materials developed, focused on inclusive service, on treating everyone with dignity. I want our commission structure reviewed. Make sure we're not incentivizing bad behavior. And I want us to reach out to Mr. Reeves. Personally, not through publicists. I want to apologize. Ask what we can do to make this right. He's already declined compensation, Catherine said. His team made that clear. Then we asked what else. Donation to charity in his name. Partnership with a cause he cares about. Something meaningful. Something that shows we heard him. That we're changing. The meeting continued for 2 hours. Plans developed. Timelines established. Accountability assigned. When it ended, everyone understood. This wasn't just about one viral video. This was about the future of the brand. Adapt or become irrelevant. Change or be left behind. In Los Angeles, Keanu was unaware of the corporate crisis he'd triggered. He was at home, reading. His phone had been buzzing constantly since yesterday. Texts, calls, emails, his publicist, his manager, friends. Everyone wanted to know about the Gucci incident. He'd ignored most of it. Finally called his publicist back. Lisa, what's happening? What's happening? Keanu, you're trending worldwide. The Gucci video has 10 million views. Every media outlet wants a statement. Gucci wants to apologize personally. This is massive. It was just shopping. I bought a gift for my sister. You spent $30,000 after being insulted. You bought gifts for a stranger. It's a great story. People love it. I didn't do it for a story. I did it because those women were rude and David was kind. Simple as that. I know, but it's resonating. People are talking about class discrimination, about luxury retail culture, about how you consistently use your platform for good. This is positive press. It's also 2 women who lost their jobs. That's not positive. Lisa paused. They lost their jobs because they were rude to a customer. That would have happened eventually. You just happened to be the customer. Maybe, but I don't want to be part of destroying people's lives. You're not. They destroyed their own careers. You just shopped. Listen, Gucci wants to make amends. They're asking what they can do. Donation to a charity you choose. Partnership, whatever you want. Keanu thought. Tell them to donate to a homeless services organization in Los Angeles. Somewhere that helps people who might not look like they belong in fancy stores. People who get judged every day. That's perfect. I'll coordinate. And Lisa? No more statements from me. I said what I needed to say. The rest is noise. Understood. But Keanu, this is going to keep being a story for a while. Be prepared. He hung up, went back to his book, but couldn't focus. Thought about Ashley and Brittany. They'd been cruel. But did they deserve the worldwide condemnation? The end of their careers? He didn't know. Justice was complicated. Proportional punishment was subjective. They'd hurt no one physically, just made him and Margaret feel unwelcome. Was that worth this level of destruction? He thought about Christopher Bradshaw, the bank employee from years ago. Similar situation. One moment of rudeness. Career destroyed. But Christopher had learned, had grown, was teaching others now. Maybe Ashley and Brittany would do the same. Maybe this was their rock bottom, the place from which they'd build something better. Or maybe they'd just be bitter. Blame him. Blame the internet. Never take accountability. He couldn't control that. Could only control his own actions. And he'd acted appropriately. Responded to rudeness not with anger, but with quiet demonstration of their wrongness. That felt right. His sister Kim called. "Did you buy me a $4,500 Gucci bag?" "Yes." "Happy early birthday." "Keanu, you didn't have to. That's too much." "I wanted to. You'll love it. Caramel leather. Classic design." "I saw the video. The whole thing. I can't believe how those women treated you. Happens more than you'd think. People make assumptions. But you spent $30,000. That's insane." "Most of it was for David, the guy who was kind. His wife will enjoy the gifts." "You're too good. You know that." "I'm not good. I'm just responding to how people treat me." "David was kind. I rewarded kindness. They were cruel. I showed them why judging by appearance is stupid. Basic cause and effect. Still, I love you. Thank you for the gift. Can't wait to use it. Love you too." Monday morning, Ashley woke up to 300 missed calls. Voicemails from reporters. Emails from news outlets. Requests for interviews. For her side of the story. For comment. She ignored all of it. Called her best friend, Maya, who'd also worked in luxury retail. Who'd understand? "Maya, it's Ashley. Have you seen it? Everyone's seen it, Ash. Are you okay?" "No, I'm not okay. I lost my job. I'm all over the internet. People are saying horrible things. Someone found my address. Posted it online. I'm getting threats." "Threats?" "Like actual threats. People saying they'll find me, hurt me, that I deserve to suffer. I'm scared to leave my apartment. Jesus, have you called the police?" "And say what? People on the internet are mean to me?" "They'll laugh. Not if you're getting credible threats. You should report it." "I don't know what's credible. It's just comments. Messages. But there's hundreds. Thousands. All saying I'm trash. That I should die. That karma will get me." Maya was quiet. Then, "Ash, I love you. You're my friend. But you were pretty awful to that guy. I watched the video. The things you said. Not you too. I'm not piling on. I'm being honest. You judged him. You were dismissive. You mocked him. That's not okay. The backlash is extreme. Way too much. But you can't act like you did nothing wrong. I know I was wrong. But does that mean I deserve this? Death threats? Never working again? My life destroyed? No. But you can't control the internet. You can only control how you respond. Apologize. Publicly. Sincerely. On what you did. Show you've learned. That's the only path forward. What if that makes it worse? It might, but silence definitely makes it worse. People assume the worst when you say nothing. At least an apology shows accountability. Ashley considered this. Maya was right. She had to say something. But what? Sorry I judged Keanu Reeves by his clothes? Sorry I got caught? She needed to think carefully. Craft something real. Something that didn't sound like PR speak. She spent the day writing, deleting, rewriting. By evening, she had something. Not perfect, but honest. She posted it to her Instagram. Made the account public just long enough to post. Then private again. I've spent the last 2 days watching a video of myself being cruel to a customer. Watching millions of people rightly call me out for behavior that was elitist, rude, and unacceptable. I want to say clearly, I was wrong. Completely wrong. I judged Keanu Reeves based on his appearance. I made assumptions about what he could afford. I was dismissive and disrespectful. I did this because I've been trained to focus on high-value customers, to maximize sales, to identify who was serious and who wasn't. But that's not an excuse. That's an explanation of a toxic culture I participated in willingly. I should have treated everyone who walked into that store with respect, regardless of appearance, regardless of perceived wealth. I didn't. I failed at the most basic aspect of customer service, of human decency. I've lost my job. I've received thousands of hateful messages. Some are threatening. I'm scared and ashamed. But I understand why people are angry. I represented everything wrong with luxury retail, with classism, with judging people by superficial markers. I'm sorry to Keanu Reeves. I'm sorry to everyone who's ever been made to feel unwelcome in a store because of how they looked. I'm sorry to my former employer. And I'm sorry to myself for becoming someone who could treat another person that way. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it right now. But I'm committing to learning from this, to being better, to treating everyone with dignity. Not because they might be rich or famous, but because it's right. I hope someday my actions will prove this apology is genuine. For now, all I have are words, and I understand if words aren't enough. She hit post. Immediately the comments came. Hundreds within minutes. Some were supportive. This takes courage. Good first step. We all make mistakes. Hope you learn and grow. But most were still angry. Only sorry because you got caught. This doesn't undo what you did. Too little too late. She made the account private again. Felt slightly better. Not absolved, but at least she'd said something. Taken some accountability. It was a start. Brittany posted her own apology. Similar tone. Slightly shorter. Less detailed. The response was equally mixed. Neither woman was forgiven by the internet. But at least they'd tried. At least they'd owned it. Gucci responded to both apologies publicly. We appreciate Ms. Montgomery and Ms. Reed taking accountability for their actions. We hope they learn and grow from this experience. Gucci remains committed to inclusive service for all customers. Diplomatic, non comital, the bare minimum. But it signaled the brand was ready to move on, to focus on changes rather than individuals. Tuesday, Gucci announced a major donation. $500,000 to Los Angeles Mission, a comprehensive homeless services organization. The press release mentioned it was made at Keanu Reeves' request, that he'd asked for support to go to people who face daily judgment based on appearance. The donation was praised. This is what accountability looks like, turning a negative into a positive. Keanu continues to be amazing. Some cynics called it a PR stunt. $500,000 is nothing to Gucci. They make that in an hour. But most saw it as genuine response. Real action paired with words. Keanu was asked to comment on the donation. He released a brief statement through Lisa. Grateful to Gucci for supporting important work. Homelessness is a crisis in Los Angeles and across America. Organizations like LA Mission provide dignity and services to people who are often invisible, often judged. This donation helps. I hope other brands follow suit. Short, focused on the cause rather than himself, redirecting attention to what mattered. Classic Keanu. David Chun had become a minor celebrity himself. His LinkedIn post had 3 million views. He was interviewed by business publications, asked to speak at conferences, about kindness, about standing up for others, about unexpected rewards. I didn't defend Keanu for reward, he said in every interview. I defended him because it was right. The fact that he was generous in return is amazing. But that shouldn't be why we're kind to people. We should be kind because it's right. Every time, whether anyone's watching or not. His message resonated. Companies started using him in training as example of ethical behavior, of integrity. His tech company got publicity, new clients, angel investments he was involved with got attention. Being associated with the Keanu story had unexpected benefits. His wife Lauren was wearing Gucci everywhere. To events, to meetings. Friends asked about the pieces. She told the story. My husband was kind to Keanu Reeves. This is what happened. It became a talking point. A reminder. Kindness matters. Kindness be. 2 weeks after the incident, Valerie Preston was still store manager at Gucci Rodeo Drive. But she'd been formally reprimanded. Regional oversight increased. Monthly audits of customer service. Mystery shoppers. Every interaction scrutinized. The pressure was intense. But the culture had genuinely changed. Staff were different. More careful. More egalitarian. Every customer greeted warmly. No assumptions. No judgment. Sales were actually up. Because people felt welcome. Felt respected. They browsed longer. Bought more. Returned more often. Valerie reflected on this in a team meeting. The irony is, treating everyone well is actually better for business. We were so focused on identifying big spenders that we ignored everyone else. Some of those everyone else's had money. They just didn't advertise it. Like Keanu, others didn't have money yet, but might someday, or might tell their friends. Word of mouth matters. Reputation matters. We forgot that. We won't forget again. The staff nodded, understanding. One sales associate, Marcus, spoke up. I had a customer yesterday. College student. Clearly couldn't afford anything. She was looking at bags. Dreaming. Old me would have ignored her. Focused on someone else. But I helped her. Explained the craftsmanship. Let her try things on. Took photos for her. She left without buying. But she was so grateful. Said she'd save up. Come back when she could afford it. And she'd ask for me. That's a future customer. Because I was kind. Exactly, Valerie said. That's the approach. Every person is a potential customer. If not now, later. If not them, someone they know. Treat everyone like they matter. Because they do. The meeting ended. Staff returned to the floor. Energized. Purposeful. The store felt different. Better. More human. The viral video had been a crisis. But it had forced necessary change. Sometimes disasters lead to growth. This was one of those times. 3 weeks after the incident, the story was fading from news cycles. Still referenced occasionally. Still shared. But no longer trending. Life moving on. As it always does. The internet's attention span is short. New controversies. New viral moments. The Gucci incident became history. A reference point. A teaching moment. But no longer front-page news. Ashley had moved back to her hometown, Ohio, living with her parents, applying for jobs outside retail, administrative work, office management, nothing in fashion. That door was closed. Her name still brought up the video when Googled, but slowly as time passed, it would be buried. New results, new information. The internet forgets eventually. Mostly, she was seeing a therapist, processing, learning about her own prejudices, her classism, where it came from, how to unlearn it. It was hard work, uncomfortable, but necessary. She was committed, not because she wanted to redeem her image, but because she didn't want to be that person anymore. The person in the video, cruel, dismissive, superior, that wasn't who she wanted to be. Brittany had similar journey. Different city, Denver, living with her sister, working at a nonprofit, low pay but meaningful work, helping people experiencing homelessness. The irony wasn't lost on her. She'd mocked the idea of people who couldn't afford luxury. Now she worked with people who couldn't afford basics. Housing, food, healthcare. It humbled her, showed her how lucky she'd been, how privileged, how narrow her worldview had been. She thought about Keanu often, about his calm in the face of her rudeness, about his request to Gucci to donate to homeless services. He could have just moved on. Instead, he'd used his platform to help people she now served. That meant something. She'd never meet him, never get to apologize in person, but she'd honor his intention by doing this work, by serving with dignity, by treating everyone as worthy, especially those society dismissed. Both women were changed. Not fully, not perfectly. Growth is slow, but genuinely. They'd hit bottom, been forced to look at themselves, didn't like what they saw, chose to be different. That was something, not redemption yet, but foundation for it. Keanu had moved on completely. Other projects, other concerns. The Gucci incident was behind him, just another moment in a long life. Barely significant to him personally. He'd given his sister the handbag. She loved it, used it constantly. That was the point. Everything else was noise. But for others, the incident remained significant. A story told in business schools, in customer service training, in discussions about class and consumption, about how assumptions harm, about how we treat people differently based on appearance and perceived wealth, about how one person's choice to respond with dignity can create ripples that change culture. That was the legacy, not a viral video, not destroyed careers, but a conversation started about respect, about equality, about remembering everyone's humanity, in transactions, in service, in daily interactions. Simple lesson. Treat people well. All people. You never know who they are. But more importantly, it shouldn't matter who they are. Everyone deserves dignity. Remember that. Act accordingly. The rest takes care of itself.